Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids across the galaxy, this video, if you play Galaxy of Heroes, this video is going to change your life today, and that is no exaggeration. We're going to talk about one of the most important tools, in my opinion, for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and with me today is the guest who created this tool known as HotUtils. Everyone, give a warm round of applause to Hot Sauce with the creator of HotUtils. How are we doing today?
Hi, Arnold. I'm doing great.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Seriously, this is something I've been wanting to talk to people for a long time about. We're going to be talking about a tool that literally has all the major quality of life updates that you could possibly want in terms of mod management, being able to mass slice mods, mass level up mods, mass delete mods, and even have a built-in algorithm to try to help you remod your roster. And there's even some territory battle tools that are going to be incredibly helpful to guild leaders out there. We're gonna go through a lot of stuff today. I have some mod examples here from a test account that we're using with HotUtils today, and we are gonna do quite a couple things today. So before we actually start leveling up mods and showing the power of this tool that I want more people to know about, why don't you give me like a quick elevator pitch? What is your tool all about?
So started a few years back as I crept up into the higher level guild, seeing a lot of the hardcore players in the game. Seeing some of the problems that were going on. First, it was, with territory wars and territory battles, all the spreadsheet usage of some of the top officers, all the time that was being spent. The problem I seen for the game health was these guys started because they loved doing spreadsheets and loved helping the guild, but man, they'd burn out quick. So then we had some of the top players in the game leaving the game. And honestly, that's where the birth of this came from. I'm like, I want to help these guys out. We got to hold these top guilds together. It's good for the game. These are the big spending accounts. There's so much positive involved to make their lives easier. The next kind of phase of it, and you'll see with this V2 site and whatnot, was getting into the mod side of things. Because all the whales in the games love mod depth. That's what the game becomes about, is mod depth. You've got 200 unsliced mods, or unleveled and unsliced mods in your inventory at the time. Now you want to level them, go through them, choose which ones to sell, choose which one to slice. We're talking hours. We're talking just to upgrade those. You're probably, thousands of clicks of the mouse just to upgrade those 200 mods. So really, I seen that as a game problem. I mean, game health, game investment, these guys wanting to spend money on mods. What can I do to kind of help the mod system along? There's got to be something. And in all this really wasn't about a money-making scheme for myself at all. It was really about, the overall usage of the game. And I would encourage, as we show stuff, CG to take any of these ideas. If CG wanted to reach out to me, I'd be happy to share anything we're doing here. I would love to be able to work with them. As you know, Arnold, communication's very lax with CG, but this tool, carefully, I've selected to only do things that will really help the players and really help the players stay engaged with the game. That was always my hope all along.
I first learned about your tool in 2018, and you've partnered with a lot of other big people in the community that make this tool even better. And the real reason why I wanted to bring this up today, it's not because it's new and I just learned about it, but because you added this new functionality in this version 2 that allows you to do some crazy things that you just simply were not able to do before. And mods, I feel like, is the most complicated part of the game for the average player out there. Even if you're not a whale, mods are still important, and it's still such a complicated thing and time-consuming thing, and something that would normally take me like hours, like you said, we are going to do basically in a few minutes here. We're going to drag out the process just so you can see what happens here. So how about you want to just go ahead and just show some examples with these mods that we have here? I believe we got like 60 mods or so. Do you want to just go ahead and show them what it's all about?
Sure. So we're on the unequipped mod section here. So
right over here.
This is taking a look at all the mods currently unequipped on your characters, and it's doing some initial categorization. Anything 5 or less you're seeing is getting put into a garbage mod section there, so we can quickly sell and get rid of those.
Let's just do it right now. There's a button that says sell all less than 5 mods. Do you want to delete everything under 5 dots? I mean, until they give us the option to upgrade dots from 4 to 5, probably not going to happen. You just want to cycle it out right away. That part at least kind of was somewhat easy inside of the game. You just go into the filters and you just 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can just select all and delete. But this is the stuff right here that what we're about to, the actual mods you want to level up, where things get serious and this tool really starts to shine. So what is the first thing you want to show people what we're going to do here?
So this other pre-built section we're seeing is incomplete mod. So this is putting any mod where all four stats have not, secondary stats have not been exposed yet. So you can just do a quick select all on that section. Then down at the bottom, you'll be able to, there'll be an option to expose all secondaries.
Or we can either upgrade a single tier, which would take us from level 1 to level 3, or 3 to 6, and 6 to 9, 9 to 12. And then we have the max level, which is taking it all the way to 15, which I don't recommend doing. You want to first see what mods are actually worthwhile first. And then we have this right here is what I recommend when you have incomplete mods at their first level. Upgrade incomplete to expose all. We're going to click on it. And within about a couple seconds here, it's going to level up. What was that? 47 mods in a couple of seconds. And we're going to see all of the secondary stats on these mods. And then we can do some serious work with deleting mods, slicing the mods that we want to keep, and of course, bringing the mods up to level 15 that are going to be worth keeping. I think we're going to try to keep it simple. We're going to kind of just solely look for mods with speed secondaries. Of course, there's other stats that might be important, but just for simplicity purposes, we're going to try to keep it solely to speed. But here we go. It's almost done. 87%, 89, 91, 93. And in a short moment, it's going to level all these and show, look at that. Boom. That right there alone would have taken us, goodness gracious, if we did that in game, how long would you estimate it would take to level up or expose 47 mods?
I didn't. It'll take a while, and then again, if we were talking about 200 mods, it's more about the carpal tunnel syndrome that kicks in after a while.
This tool made me more serious mods, and my roster has just been getting exponentially better when it comes to mods, because simply the mod management here encourages me to get more mods into my inventory. But why don't we do the next step here? What would you recommend now? We have all of our secondary stats revealed here. I know what I would do next, but I want you to talk us through your tool here.
Well, generally now it comes to, we've built a system to allow you to create your own filters. So if you kind of slide up to the front of that, you're generally, there's certain mods you want to take further, certain mods you want to slice, you want to move to those next steps. And then there's certain mods at this point, you know what, if you didn't roll a speed secondary, or if primaries don't match the set type or different rules like that, you can just get rid of them. Now, the hardcore mod guys build all these rules themselves. They know what kind of, they want to dump more crystals into slicing and upgrading, and it's a real crystal sink. For the more kind of the ones that want to do it, we actually now have a public filter system where you can like other people's filters and whatnot, and you can add their filters in from sort of our global repository to help you start, you know, if you're starting out, there'll be some good templates in there to start with.
So we already have some filters here created, it seems like. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit add, and we're going to input the filters from this player, and we're going to kind of just work with what they have. And of course, you can create your own filters to whatever desire you want, but we're going to hit add, and boom, we have this now. We have this high rollers filter right here. That's just an example filter, but let's kind of run the filters we have here. So I like this one on top. It's going to filter out any mod that has no speed and is under level 12. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on that, and it's gonna filter out all those mods that fit that category. We're under level 12, and as we see, it found all the mods that have no speed whatsoever. Now again, there might be other stats you're looking for, such as a really high offensive secondary, but just to keep things simple today, just with the click of a button, we found all the mods that basically more or less are probably gonna be useless here. So just for the sake of testing, we're gonna just select all these mods, no speed in any of them, and I can feel pretty confident on selling these mods with the button right down here. So right here, we're going to sell these 35 mods that have no speed. So boom, we're going to sell them all. Yes, take them out. And so all those mods, we start up with, what was it, like 47, 48, 49 mods. We already took out the mods that we're not going to really bother leveling up any further, and more importantly, slicing them. So the next thing we're going to show is mass slicing mods. The coolest thing that's new with this version of HotUtils right here. We have a filter right here that's going to show us all of our gray speed, our gray mods that have speed on them. And it looks like we got, let's see, we have about 9 of them. Why don't we just go ahead? We're going to max them all the way out to level 15. And with a click of a button, we're gonna be able to slice all these mods to green. And then if we want, if they look good in the green, we can slice them up to blue instead of doing them individually. Imagine if there was 200 gray mods of speed right here. With a click of a button, we can bring them all to level 15. With a click of a button, we can slice them all to green here. So right now, we just did the first step. We got them all to level 15. We see all the secondaries, and let's click on this magic button right down here and slice them all. So 3, 2, 1. Do you want to slice these 9 mods? Yes, please. It's going to do its magical voodoo. And in a few short moments, we're going to have a bunch of green mods and hopefully get a couple of rolls on the speed here. And there we go. As we see, this one popped out really good. We got plus 10 speed right there. Let's see. We got another plus 10 speed right there. We got a plus 7 right there. And it looks like the rest did not get a roll whatsoever. But just like that, instead of going through the mods individually and slicing them up, we just did it with the click of a button. And then this is just a small example. But if you have tons of mods, it doesn't matter. As long as you have the slicing materials to back up your farming, as you can see right up here, you can just keep slicing and slicing and slicing in this tool. All right, so what we're gonna do, we have a couple of mods that I could level up to level 12, but just for the sake of simplicity, we're gonna go ahead and slice up those mods that we just did a moment ago. So we're gonna click on slice. Let's pay close attention. Let's hopefully get some big money. Big money is there. And do we have to like rub the monitor to get better RNG? Do we get better RNG in here than in game? That would be amazing. And boom. There we go. So we just took all those green mods and we sliced them up. Let's see if we got anything good. Oh man, look at that. We have a blue plus 15. How about we, for our example's sake, we should just take that one all the way to the max here today. But it looks like we got that's gonna be pretty good right there. Yeah, there's 2 of them. Oh yeah, we have right 2. Woo! That's looking good. All right, so how about this? Just to kind of, because we can spend a long time kind of showing all the things we can delete and filter out and level. I just want to kind of take these 2 mods and see how high we can go. It seems like these are our best pulls that we got out of the bunch right here. So we're going to go ahead. Let's slice these up. Again, these are extremely highly desirable for anyone's standards. Plus 15 speed. I mean, anyone would want that inside their roster. Look at that, plus 19. Oh my gosh. Oh, sign up now for HotUtils, everybody. I mean, just to clarify, using this tool does not give you any more RNG or luck advantage when it comes to slicing, but just happens to be for this video. You're giving us some amazing examples right here. Let's slice it up one more time, and it even gives you a nice little warning in case let's say for example you clicked on 100 mods and it notices, hey, these are some good mods. It'll give you a big warning. Some mods are too good to select, and it won't even let you click on the sell buttons. That's a really nice safeguarding mechanism you added in there, especially when people are wanting to use this tool for the first time and they maybe got good mods and they're mass slicing that they didn't notice. You kind of added some safeguards in there, it seems like.
That's so ridiculous that you got
this is some crazy luck we're having here. Let's just go ahead and slice up the gold and let's see. Come on, big money, big money. Let's see. Papa Arnold wants some nice mods. Let's see. And wow. Woo, man, those are some fantastic mods. And I believe we can also 6-dot mods in here too, right?
Correct.
All right.
That one is definitely 6-dot worthy.
All right. So how about this? So just to kind of go through the paces, we're going to go ahead and take these mods and slice them up, and we're going to give them the 6-dot now. So you don't have to go in game just to go from 5 to 6. Boom. There we go. And just for one more demonstration, obviously the newest thing with mods in general is slicing through the 6 dots. And this is a pretty good candidate right here. It hasn't rolled speed 5 times. So we have one more opportunity to roll that into something really good. So how about we click on slice? We should have the materials in here last time. Oh, we don't have enough materials. All right, so it looks like we got to wait for the next galactic challenges to complete. But assuming we had the materials for 6-dot mods through galactic challenges, we can also slice that through the 6D, C, B, and A as well. But man, these are some great examples of mods right here. And I think before we dip out of this, which is the most important functionality about this tool, which is why we're spending a lot of time on it, the reason why this tool is so great is because it encourages you to keep doing more mod slicing as much as possible. Keep bringing in a new fresh set of mods. And if you have a tool that helps you do this in a matter of minutes or seconds, you're going to get more mods in here, because at the end of the day, mods is all about a casino, and more attempts means more chances you're going to get very solid mods like this. The next and big thing I want to talk about is the Grand Ivory's Optimizer. Now, this is kind of interesting. It basically will take these mods in this account that we're using right now, and based off, let's click on it real quick. Based off some key things we tell it, it'll remod your entire roster if you wanted to, or mod like your best mods possible for a select group of characters that you chose. How about you give me a spiel what Grand Ivory is, because that's not yours. That's another person you've partnered with to integrate into your tool, and this is absolutely insane.
Correct. So Grand Ivory's tool, he's an amazing guy, by the way. I've been working with him now for a couple years. He built this tool exactly for that. You know what? If I want to have if I want to take the time and build mod rules against my entire roster, you can totally do that. I personally, in my own gameplay, tend to do this more team-oriented. If we're doing territory battles and I want the max mods on, let's say, our Sith Empire team, I'll load my Sith Empire team in there. You can choose target stats, you can choose target mod sets, all sorts of things in it. Click optimize your mods, and it goes and finds the right mods to basically meet, you're the best mods possible to meet those stats. The thing is, if you started doing these in large, yeah, it's telling you where those mods need to go, but before our integration, you'd have to go in game then and go through each character to try and figure out which mod you needed to move where. And I heard guys were spending, we're talking 18 hours to remod their roster that way and things. So again, I partnered with Grand Ivory early on, and to allow it to, once you've used his tool to sort of choose the best mods for your characters, it actually being able to move the mods in game automatically to match what you've just done, or send it as a loadout to my site, which we'll talk about in a minute, and then you kind of have a loadout you can toggle back and forth to with those mods.
And we're gonna click on optimize my mods, and again, this is just, it's absolutely crazy. In a click of a button, it tried to put together some optimal mods for us to try to max out the speed. For Malik, it looks like they didn't change too much. It kind of stayed to this full health and tenacity set thing going on here. And again, depending on what I put on here in terms of the parameters, it'll change, but it'll show you what it currently is. It's going to show a massive jump in stats. And what people like to do from here is they like to create a mod profile. As you can see right above, let's move the camera for a moment. We have this create a new mod profile. So we'll just run with it. Let's just say we'll call this, for example, I don't know, Sith Empire. And what it's going to do now is it's going to create a profile based off these saved mods here, and take, let's just say, for example, you're using Ray Jawas inside the rank card. That's one of the best teams for phase 1. You put the Ray in, you put Wat Tambor, and you put the Jawas in, and it's going to make these best mods possible. And we're going to click on create profile, and it says boom, it's created. So we're going to go ahead and click on loadouts right up here. And up here, it looks like we got a lot of fantastic loadouts kind of saved and ready to go. It's going to take a moment to load up. Boom. One thing I highly recommend you guys do, if you're using this tool, before you start moving mods around, create a snapshot of your entire roster. So once you're done moving mods around for a Rancor raid, for example, or a territory battles or territory war, you can click on your snapshot that you made beforehand, and it'll put all of your mods in your roster back in their original place. Because I think you could probably agree here. For example, the Shock T mission to get Kiadi-Mundi. Sometimes some of the low success rates is because guilds and players, they don't want to remod their whole roster, because putting the mods back where they are is horrible. Well, if you save your roster or you save your loadouts and you memorize your whole entire roster, when you're done with the Kiadi-Mundi mission, you click on a button, it puts all of your mods back in place like you never moved them in the first place. Well, let's say, for example, we have this Sith Empire temple. Let's say there's a galactic challenge that requires Sith Empire, or you're remodding for, let's say, Genos' territory battles. What we can do now is we can click on load, and it's going to move all of those mods that we just created in Grand Ivory, and we made a loadout. It's going to put all those mods on those characters. And let's see, there we go, it's applying. Boom, it's done. So if we hopped inside of the game right now for this account here, we would be able to see that it moved mods everywhere. So as we see, we clicked on the loadout, and in this game, if we actually log back into the game, we would see that all those mods that Grand Ivory put together and then we saved inside of the HotUtils application here, all those mods would be in the place on the Sith Empire. Some of our very best mods. But let's say we're done for the day for the Galactic Challenge or the Territory Battle, Territory War, the Rancor Raid. You could then just go back and put all of your mods that you told it, hey, memorize this before I start destroying my mods. Memorize this, and it's going to put all of your mods back into their original homes. And this, again, makes mod management a lot less daunting, and it encourages players to put their best mods on their players. So when they're trying to knock out the Kiadi-Mundi mission, they know they're giving it their best attempt. They're putting their best mods possible, and it's not going to sacrifice them minutes, dozens, and possibly hours to try to get their mods back on to where they were in the first place. All right, it looks like it's got a load, and boom, right there, it just put back the master mod profile.
So this is probably the one side of it where you could say, hey, this gives someone an unfair advantage. And to tell the truth, I was kind of on the line with the whole loadout side with is CG okay with it or not? And again, I've never heard one way or another, and I don't think I ever will. But the argument I would make for this is it's become so important in territory battles. These top level guilds, essentially, if you're not going to remod your roster, you won't be in that guild.
Oh, yeah.
So people spend hours and hours every day doing all these remods. It burns them out and they quit.
They
we
quit.
see it time
I've
and
seen it a
time
lot,
again.
yeah.
So again, this tool was about, okay, if your guild has strict requirements in territory wars or for certain mod setups or for territory battles in your missions and whatnot, this just helps make it a little bit less painful. And I think, again, is overall so incredibly important for the health of the game. And I think they somewhat started down this road with their in-mod loadouts, and I would encourage them to take anything they're seeing here and use this type of concept in-game, because my preference would be I'd never have to leave game. I could just do it in the game. And this is probably a more reasonable thing, that they could do something similar like this in-game.
Now, how about we talk about these territory battle tools that you have over here? Because one thing I see time and time again is, please, CG, give us guild leaders some tools to better manage territory battles. There's not a lot of them out there. So why don't we talk about these two right here? You have status and you have also this players tab here.
There's some tools out there in the community that are great at helping you set up for territory battles. Echo Base is one of the key ones out there that a lot of guilds use and whatnot. What there wasn't out there for tools was during the battles, tracking who's done what mission points, how much GP is remaining to deploy. So guilds can really on the fly determine what stars they can make and whatnot. So literally guys trying to track every battle that's done by every player, punch it into a spreadsheet, trying to determine what's going on. So they, again, hours and hours and hours from the most key people in our community. The guys that are wanting to do this are the guys we want to keep.
Yeah.
And it was giving them the tools to do it. So in this screen, we're kind of already completed all 3 zones, so you're not seeing the details, but it would give you a total breakdown of, points and mission points to meet your next star. You can, you can do the planning now. If we do complete this star, will we have enough to do this star? All those kind of targets. So it's about giving them admin tools. Also,
if you click on players, it shows how much GP is left per player in the guild. So you can be like, all right, hey bud, you haven't deployed yet. You can kind of remind them. So it's just, again, quality of life tools that I hope Capital Games implements in-game, but right now, this is the next best thing, or the best thing we have available. We have this SWGoH events website right here that you click right down here. And why don't you explain what this is all about?
So SWGoH events had a great site that was to determine basically what are your farming requirements to take this character to G13, for example? What are you going to need, whatnot? A key piece it was missing was, of course, being able to see what you have in your inventory for your current equipment, which can only be detected from within the game.
Yeah.
So, again, integration with them, so they're able to pull your equipment that you have in-game and materials in-game to determine what you have and help you give you the exact amount of materials you need to farm.
I think the most important thing people are going to want to know is what's the stance of HotUtils in terms of service, and kind of talk about how this has been going on for a couple of years now. Give us a little bit of a history lesson, I suppose.
Well, a couple of years ago when I'd started my territory war system and some of the top guilds started using it, that was my first contact I had with CG. They actually sort of detected what I was doing and came and found me, which I'm thankful for. Now, I had reached out to them many times before that, and I ended up with some communication back then. That was back when communication was still good with CG. I kind of got on a call, showed everything I was doing at the time. Things seemed good. That was just when it was territory wars. Since then, every kind of new feature or thing that I've been doing, I've always been reaching out and sending communication. This is what I'm planning. This is why I think it's good for the game health. This is that whole approach to things. I'm doing everything I can. Now, I don't get much communication, or if any,
not many do,
from them. And I think Capital's position still would be, this is a third-party tool, use at your own risk, and yes, we can ban you for it. Now, that being said, I've never heard of anyone being banned for using my tools since day one. And if Capital Games was to ever reach out to me and say, hey, Hot Sauce, this is going over the line, we don't want it, I would turn it off in a heartbeat. I mean, I think a lot of us at this level in the game, we're all the same. We want this game to succeed. We're doing these things because it's a net positive for the game. And I truly believe that they've kind of left it alone at this point, because I think I've stayed within the boundaries they're willing to tolerate so far. That would be my guess. Now, again, I have no direct communication, so I can't promise anyone anything.
I'll leave links down below to everything we talked about today, HotUtils website, as well as Grand Ivory's tool, the SWGoH events website as well. Again, when I always kind of refer to the top 5 resource in Galaxy Heroes. This is by far the #1 resource, in my opinion, for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It addresses so many problems the game has and turns it into a solution for you guys to take advantage of and really start to not be as daunted or scared of the things such as the big boogeyman in the game known as mods. I can just say personally, this tool alone has encouraged lots of people to embrace mods more due to the simplicity and the fact that you're able to really get into the weeds and quickly filter out, sell, and slice up mods with a click of a finger. I think this is good. This is something I really wish Capital Games would implement, but right now, my friend, you are sitting on the crown of one of the best resource in game, I think. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you guys as well enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like it, comment down below on all your thoughts. Check out HotUtils and Hot Sauce as well. Hang out on their Discord server, see what they're all about. Great guy, great community, great tools. Any last words before we want to take off here?
Power to the Empire.
You got to say long live the Empire. That's how you really sell it.
Long live the Empire.
All right, guys. See you later.